What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of Pips and Points. I'm your host, Jono. And before we get into it, I want to give a special shout out to all my Piptonites. These awesome human beings are my subscribers. Guys, I love you all. Thank you for all of your support. I also want to give a shout out to all the new guys that's come over, found this channel for the first time. Welcome to Pips and Points. On this channel, we mainly talk about the NAS100. And it's just basically my point of view as to how I plan to navigate the NAS in the coming days and weeks. And in doing so, basically, you might spot opportunities that you can use yourself. And in saying that, I also want to stress that I am not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not a financial guru. Please subscribe, hit the notification, become a Pip tonight, turn on the bell icon, drop a comment as to how you found this channel, or drop a comment asking me a basic question, or just saying, hey Jono, we like your style, we like what you're doing and we appreciate it. Either one is absolutely fine, or you could just say nothing. Either way is cool, but I prefer at least you acknowledge what I'm going to be talking to you about, right? And if you find this content useful in any way, hit the subscribe button, right? Become a Pip tonight. For the third time that's me saying this, I really want you guys to join my family. Now, with all of that covered, we're going to get straight into it. So the last video that we did was on Wednesday, and that is this wick right here, right? This wick right here. Okay, so this wick right here, that is the one that we talked about on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, it started off somewhere down here somewhere, and it was kind of pushing up. And I was like, look, it's going to push down. I'm going to turn on the drawings in a minute so you can see exactly what I was referring to. But I just want to explain briefly what I was saying, right? So I said it was going to pull down, and chances are it was going to turn red. Somewhere in the video, I was like, it's going to go up, then it's going to come down. But then towards the end of the video, I was like, look, this thing is definitely going to pull back, and this is what it's going to do. Right, so we just left this that. Now, what happened was, obviously, some of my awesome viewers spotted that price had begun to push up, and I was fairly confident that even though it was a push up, it was a false alarm, it was gonna pull down again, right? So now we've got this particular shape where the NAS is basically coming down, and it's a Friday, and it's what I expected. So Wednesday, this was the candle, right? Then Thursday we had the news, so we had this little move happen over here, okay? So the news was more or less positive. I'm just going to bring that up now and just confirm if it was positive or not, right? So, so Thursday's news, where is it? Right here, okay. So Thursday's news was, okay, so the forecast was 5.3. The previous was 2.3 and the actual was 6.9. So it was positive, Thursday's news, right? So hence why the market did what it did. Made perfect sense. Then we went to Friday's news, right? Friday's news is today. And today's news, as you can see, came in. So the forecast was 4. The previous was 5. And it stayed at that level. Now, because it was lower than the previous, naturally, we've got the red that we've got sitting here right now, okay? Hence why it's super important to keep an eye on the news, and you just can't just go off technicals 100%. You've got to really pay attention to the news and what's going on there, because it also plays a role, and it can literally blow apart all your technical analysis if you're not paying attention to the news. Like that there is the most important, and technicals comes after. So fundamentals first, technicals after. You've got to be able to learn how to do both. If you can't do both, then you're going to make more mistakes than you're going to make right ones. That I can promise you. So we're going to turn on the drawings now, right? So drawings is back on, and as you can see, I said this area, this level, so we're just going to zoom in, bring everything in, this level. So this was the order block taken from here, and this is the daily order block that we've drawn, hence why it's so large, right? It went through it too many times for my liking, and I went off the fact that it actually was going to break. It was going to break, right? So it looks like we're in the process of it breaking right now. We're in the process of the structure being broken, and it's going to head down to this zone right here. So this zone we're going to get into at some point next week, in my opinion, because market is already going that way. If you took buys at this level hoping for it to go up and just still in it now, trust me, your stop loss needs to be lower than this bar over here. It needs to be really low, because chances are it is going to head down there. It is going to head down there, in my opinion. Okay, so now that we've gotten that covered, let's go into a lower time frame, right? And let's go into a lower time frame and let's just see how this overall situation looked. Actually, let me go into a cleaner chart. Let me go into a cleaner one we did, because I don't want to lose all the drawings. Okay, so this is what we got going on right now. So we can see the clear consolidation to the upside. Okay, and like I always say in the videos, if you've been watching for any length of time, whenever you see this shape, okay, whenever you start seeing this shape appearing, all right, it does not necessarily mean that price is going to go up. It doesn't mean price is going to go up. And remember what I was saying about the order block over here on the Wednesday video? Look what happened. Price went up, touched it, and then flew back down again. Did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Exactly what I thought it was going to do. And how did I have a feeling that it was going to do that, right? How did I have that feeling it was going to do that? Because first off, this was a high, this was a low, and this was another low, right? So from the moment I saw that this low had been broken by these wicks over here, and bearing in mind, this, what we were seeing here, that was the Wednesday video. So if I was to say remove this link right here, what I drew, that was the Wednesday move of what I was saying was going to happen, right? And as you can see, it went up, it touched the order block, which is this one right here. So let me zoom in. This one right here on the 4 hourly, touch this order block on the 4 hourly, right? And then, no, sorry, touch this order block on the 4 hourly, which is this order block over here. So this one here is the order block where I'm circling, right? Touched it. So if you had drawn the whole shape, right, you would have got it. If you had spotted that and drawn the whole shape and been patient, you would have got it. And you'd be sitting in profit right now. Right now. Right? So this is it. So this is it. This is the order block in its entirety. Right, so it brings up. So as you can see, price clearly went into it and then shot back down, right? Didn't revisit it again, and then blew all the way down to where it is right now. All right. So what I'm basically saying now is this. This is what I'm saying, right? I'm saying price will be heading down to this level. Let me just zoom it all the way in. Okay, I think it's this level. I think it's this level. But anyways, we're going to check that out on the actual drawings on the other chart. But I'm saying price is definitely going to break past. It's going to blow past this level right here. So I'm saying price is definitely going to break below this level of 12,664. Okay, it's going to break. It will either do it tonight, right, or it will do it on Monday. But it's going to break below this level. Break below this level and settle. So if you go back into the actual drawings, right, let's move this up. It's going to come into this zone of, let me use this instead. So it's going to come into this zone of 1276.5.01 roundabouts, right, into 1231.3.61. This is where price is actually going to come back into, in my opinion, because it's already heading there already. It's already heading there already, right? And as you can see, we're getting lower lows. The lower lows is what is telling us the direction where the market is actually going in. We can't factor it in and say, hey, look, it's going to go up because we want it to go up. No, we have to wait until it tells us it wants to go up. Then we know it's going to be going up. So my opinion that I said from Monday and continue to hold on Wednesday, and I'll still be holding that position today, which is Friday, is the price is coming into this zone. And this is my opinion, right? I'm not saying it's absolute fact. It's what I think price is actually going to do. Now, let's bring in a time frame that I hardly ever use in videos, but I'm going to bring it up just for the sake of it, right? Not for the sake of it, but it's just actually to show you a point that I'm trying to make. Okay, if we look at this on the weekly, right? So this is the weekly we're looking at right now, okay? There is no indication whatsoever, right? The price plans on pushing up from the level where it's at right now. Even the next wick that is going to produce has a very, very, very high chance of that being red all through the week. All through the week of next week, in my opinion. So, like I was saying, right? When you've got a grip on the technicals, right? And you have a grip on the fundamentals, it makes it really easy for you to make plays in terms of where the market is going to go and how it's going to go. The hardest part of it all is the patience and the waiting, especially if you're sitting behind this, watching this every day, waiting for it to do what you are expecting it to do or hoping it's going to do. Because then at some point you end up fumbling into it. And when you fumble into it, then all of a sudden it just turns into a nightmare situation for you. Okay? So anyways, before I even talk more about the overall structure, let's go through the main components of the NAS again, right? And let's see what they have to say in regards to what is going on, right? So let's go through the list again one more time, right? Because remember, we use a number of things to make decisions. We use fundamentals versus technicals to help us determine the possible direction market is going to be moving in. So first, let's look at Tesla, right? And Tesla, once again, is not showing any positive sign that it is going to be going up. And bearing in mind that Musk used some of his stake in Tesla to pick up Twitter, okay, there is a good chance that it is going to be going down. And in saying that, it does not mean that Tesla is going down in the sense that it is going to fall. It's going to continue to rise, but in terms of this overall structure that we have here, it is going to fall. And why do I say that? It's consolidating at this level right now. It's consolidating for a fall. So it's going to be heading somewhere down here, right? And this overall, if you look at this trend line over here, it is descending. So it's not it's not ascending, it is descending, which basically means that overall this funnel is getting wider and wider. There's a good chance it's going to break to the upside, but for now it's pushing down. So if you're looking for buys right now, you kind of want to catch the buys at the bottom. You don't want to be catching it in the middle. You want to be catching it at the bottom. Even at the bottom, even if it hasn't confirmed it is going to be going up, and you just took a guess and played it at the bottom, it's the safest place to actually put in any form of trade, right? At a bottom of a particular structure. Even if it goes against you, at least you can say that you took the best educated guess you could possibly take, supported by the fundamentals, right? So that is in regards to Tesla. So Tesla's going down. We go to Google, right? And Google has fallen even more. So it fell, it rose, right? And we saw that in the NAS, right? And now it's falling again. So this particular structure that we're seeing down here, this one right here, right? It's very similar to what we've gotten out of the NAS. Very, very, very similar. So you take a note of this. You're like, okay, cool. Google does have a close relationship with the overall NAS index. It does have a close relationship with that. You bear that in mind, right? It's not this drives NAS, no. But it's kind of copied what we see in the NAS. So let me just jump into the NAS real quick. I'll jump into a clean one and see what I mean, right? So where we have one bullish bar with Google, we've got 2 bullish bars and 1 red, but the overall structure is the same. The overall structure is the same. And if we go back to, we can see it. 1 red, followed by 1 parabolic bullish candle, the black one, followed by another red. NAS gave us 2. Well, NAS gave us a total of 4 moves. Google has given us a total of 3 moves. But this is how it looks. Right? Going down still. Okay? And if you go to Amazon, structure has broken. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, right? I actually might jump into Amazon myself, looking at where it is right now, but I'll keep an eye on it next week to see how it looks. But where it is right now, it's looking quite tasty for me, in my opinion. It's actually looking quite good, so I might even hop in on Amazon myself. You know what I mean? Help keep the lights on, as we do. So Amazon is falling, right? And Netflix obviously still wants to go down. There is hope for Netflix, but it's not coming anytime soon. So Netflix is still on its way down, right? It's on its way down. You can even see this wick is produced. It's a red one. It is a red one. Like if you just zoom in, see, it's red. But this structure that we're looking over here in regards to Netflix is a structure of hope. It is a structure of hope. It might actually start to push back up again. It might start to push back up at this level of 190. Netflix ain't looking half bad. It's not looking half bad at all. It's not looking half bad at all, right? But it is going down. Okay. And then we look at Apple, and Apple looks like it's going down too, right? And then we look at Facebook, right? And it's kind of jumped up. So it went a little bit lower. It produced a lower low at this level right here, right? Came out of the structure that I drew, and it's produced a lower low at this level, and it's now sitting up here somewhere. So let's see what this is going to do. Right, let's see what this is going to do. Okay, so we've got one that's pushing up, but all the rest is going down. That's what we've got. One pushing down, all the rest is going up, right? And these are the main ones out of the NAS100, the main components out of the NAS100. There are more, but these are the ones that I feel play the biggest role within the movement of the NAS. Everything within the NAS composites kind of just follows along in terms of what they do, but these are the main ones, right? Microsoft is falling. It's maintaining the structure, but it's falling, consolidating in this area. So you wait to see what that's going to do, if that's going to break down even further, or if that's going to push up. And then we look at Nvidia, and Nvidia, as you can see, that too is going down, even though it's starting to consolidate at this level. So we have to wait to see if it's gonna do something like this, if it's gonna do something like this, right? And if you see an ascending flag, right, then we know there's a very high chance it's gonna break to the downside. So if you see something like this happening with Nvidia, where it's just bouncing around within this zone, right, then there's a good chance it is going to do something like this and break down, in my opinion, right? So Nvidia is also pointing down. And then we have PayPal, and PayPal too is consolidating, and it's consolidating. Going by what I'm looking at right now, there is a high chance it is too is going to be consolidating along these levels, like this. And if that happens to be the case, it's going to be breaking down also. It's going to be breaking down also, right? And then we've got Pepsi, and Pepsi has flown all the way down. So whilst we've been analyzing the overall components, Pepsi I was going to say Texi. Right. Pepsi is now falling. So it's at a level where it's reached, which was a double top. And now it looks like it's going to be making its way down to around this level of 153.64. That's Pepsi, right? Let's look at EA. And EA has broken the structure. See, I said it in Wednesday's video that this move over here, there was a very good chance it was going to break downwards. And now look, it's breaking down. It's breaking down. It's neck and neck with the previous low, right? So on Monday, we'll see if it's going to break even further downwards. If it's going to break further downwards. And when we go to eBay, and let me adjust this, we can see eBay is now doing this thing where it's pushing up, right? It is pushing up, even though it is down, it is pushing up. But we need to know, or we need to find out, if it's going to go back up to the top of the structure and make its way down. Now, why I'm looking at all of this moves, i.e. the moves to the top of the structure, because the top of the structure in regards to all of the stocks that we looked at is right here. Bing! That's the top of the structure for us, right here. Okay, so that's why we want to keep an eye on all these things to see what they're doing and how they're doing it. So if you also ask me, is the NAS going up right now? I will tell you no. I will tell you no. It's going to keep falling, right? It's going to fall to this level, and then it might pick itself back up again and push to the upside. And when it begins that move, all of these stocks over here is going to indicate that for us. We're going to see every single one of these in the green whilst it's making its way up to this side. And once it gets up there and it decides it wants to pull back down again, we're going to see all of these stocks over here in the red. Simple. And then you marry that off with whatever you see in the Forex factory in regards to the US dollar, and you have a rough idea the overall trajectory of the NAS100. And this same thing can be used with the S&P. You just have to adjust it, apply little tweaks here and there, and you can use this little system for everything, not identical. So if you're doing the S&P, you're not going to have what I've got on the list. You're going to have things that directly related to the S&P. Do you know what I mean? And the Dow Jones, etc. So literally, yeah. So for this Friday, right, if you've entered a buy anywhere around here, right, so I made a video, I said what I said. There was a gentleman in the comments that said, yeah, it's produced a W type shape, so it looks like it's going to be going up. So that is mainly for you, right? So that individual that watched it, right? If you've entered a buy at this level right now, you are in the red, right? And chances are you're going to be in the red, so your stop needs to be below 1222.5.53. all right? And once again, this is not financial advice. You're going to have to do your own calculations and your own analysis to make sure that it actually makes sense to you. But in my opinion, I will look at that drop and I'll tell myself, do I want to carry that bag? If I want to carry that bag, fair play, I hold it. If I don't, I will cut my losses. I'll cut it with a samurai sword, you know, and I will wait to reposition myself again. Right? So I think I've pretty much covered everything. The drawing that I've drawn there stands. Like, I'm not going to change it because I still think it's still accurate according to me. And I'm going to wait to see what market does next week for Monday. So that's the drawing as it stands today. As it stands today, that is how it looks, right? NAS is coming down into this zone. And when it does, you can obviously preempt the situation and just jump in, right? But if you do jump in at this level, there are a couple things you're going to need to bear in mind, right? Your stop needs to be below these wicks. It needs to be down here at 12.18.0.11. Your stop, we need to be at that level to avoid these wicks down here, right? Because chances are it's going to fill those wicks. So you want to avoid them. So if you want to avoid them, right, if you really absolutely want to avoid them, the best way to do is to wait for market to fall into the zone, put in a pending order and then secure it, or wait for it to wick down and then jump in and then put in your stop in the necessary place. Picking it up at this level basically means that there's a very, very, very high chance, if done correctly, your stop can be very, very, very tight indeed, and your rewards will be very high in relation to your overall risk that you would have put in. Okay, so with that said, folks, I want to thank you all for coming over, watching another episode of Pips and Points. If you found this content useful in any way, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, become a Pip tonight, drop a comment as to how you found me, or basically just, I don't know, say something, whatever you want to say in the comments. Obviously positive, of course, you know, you like positive words. Okay, and also do me a favor, help me get to 5,000 subscribers. That would be such a huge achievement for me to reach 5,000 subscribers. So if you can help me do that, guys, I'll be eternally grateful to all of you. So yeah, so literally if you can do that for me, then obviously I can then begin setting up the courses that you guys may or may not be interested in. I believe you will be interested in, because how I'm going to explain how you navigate in the market, I think it's going to be really easy to understand. And this application, you'll be able to apply it to cryptos, you'll be able to apply it to stocks, you'll be able to apply it to indices, you'll be able to apply it to forex. It's basically, it's a universal, it's like a Swiss knife. It's a universal tool that you can use. The only thing that will be holding you back is how much capital you actually got to actually play in the game, as you build up. That's the only thing that will hold you back. But in terms of it, you're going to have a pretty good idea how to navigate in the space. And like I say, I will aim to try to reduce your overall learning by as much as possible. So, so with that said, I know you guys are going to help me get there, and I appreciate you in advance for doing it for me. So I want to thank you all for coming over to watch another episode of Pips and Points. I appreciate you all for that, and I wish you all a really good weekend. You know, make sure you rest up and get ready for Money Monday, where we're going to be talking more pips and points. So until then, this is Jono signing out.